All right, everybody, welcome in. We are back. This is Express Mail. I'm Casey,
I'm Kevin.
and we're here to talk today about some of the things going on in the news. Kevin,
A
what
lot of stuff
what do you
happening.
want to start with?
All right. I guess the thing that's been bouncing around here the last couple of days, anyway, around here is Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
What do you think about Gene? As far as
career.
no, I mean just all the stuff that we know as far as he's 95. Supposedly his pacemaker or something happened with it on the 17th, and they
Right.
found him a couple weeks later. So I can understand him dying, and I can understand his dog being locked up in the kennel dying,
And
but his wife, I don't get that one. And anything can happen.
yeah, yeah. And
So
we don't know her health, do we? Of what it was
nah, I
like
don't have
before
a.
that happened.
I had no clue. I didn't know who he was even married to. But
So yeah, that what's he Oriental looking, Japanese,
maybe
Chinese.
I don't know what her actual
But
nationality was, but she's Asian or some kind or something. Look like.
they said, the original. What was so weird was the original thing about his death was they were both lying in bed and the dog was in bed with him. Did you hear that in the beginning? That's what I heard the first thing.
You know how media is. They jump on,
Man, and
they
then come to
died in
find,
each other's arms or what.
yeah, and then so it almost sounded like one of those they just took pills and decided to die together. But now we're finding out that it looked like he was coming in from the backyard. Apparently, they found his body on the floor right inside the door. His cane was on the floor, and his sunglasses had fallen off his head on the floor. And I think you were saying that his pacemaker showed an event on the 17th, and that's the last thing it
Yeah,
showed, right? After
that's
that,
what.
it was
Yeah,
gone. So apparently, it looks like he probably had a heart attack of some kind coming in from outside. I mean, you're 95, so that's going to happen at any moment anyway. But her she is the one.
I
I don't
like.
know if she was had any problems or not before that.
Yeah, she's the one I want to wait and find out who or like what happened to her. I'm sure they'll do an autopsy or
And tell
whatever.
them
But
what you said about the pills they found. They're non-threatening,
yeah,
or
they're like. I mean, or at least Robin said anyway. Said that the stuff that they found was like cholesterol stuff, or it wasn't like.
is Robin a woman?
Well,
Well, that's not a good source. So anyway, let's get her
just going
started.
by what she heard. But
Well, yeah. So if it's non-threatening drugs they found, then yeah, what happened to her? I mean,
did she freak out and have a heart attack herself, or
yeah, very possible.
hit
That's
her
what
head
that's what the
falling down?
experts are saying
Who knows?
possibly could happen.
Anyway, I like Gene Hackman, man. I didn't realize he was 95 years old. I thought
I,
maybe in his 80s, but
Not too long ago, I saw where somebody had caught him going to the store, and he looked 95.
really,
But I mean, he was walking fine and everything. It's just you could tell he was really, really old, which he is really, really old. But other than that, that's the last time I ever saw anything live of him.
there's two guys that, as far as actors go, that to me can play anything. And I've seen, I mean, good. Well, I don't know if they can play anything, but I know Hackman was good at. He could play a good guy, bad guy.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
He
What's it called?
wasn't, yeah,
Stereotyped.
typecast into one
Typecast.
one thing. He could play anything.
Yeah.
And like you think of movies he's done. Like there was one he did. It was a western.
Shaft.
No, he wasn't in that. Was he in that one? I don't know. I didn't know watch that one. But it was Sharon Stone was in it, and I think Leonardo DiCaprio. They were. It was a gunfight deal. They were all. It was like
Don't get me
it was
wrong.
like everybody showed up to this western town because this gunfight,
Hmm.
and he was like the big dog. You didn't want to ended up being with him, but I mean, like they would pair him up, and
I don't guess I saw that.
I can't remember the name of the movie. It's a good movie though, but he was kind of a bad guy in that movie, and or just like the horse's butt, kind of.
Yeah.
But like then you think of movies like that, and then you think of like the Hoosiers and stuff. He was, what a good part he played in that.
See, I didn't see that.
That was an
I
excellent
may
movie.
need to go back.
You
and
need to go
watch
watch that movie.
Yeah,
That's
I
that.
probably do.
If Debbie hadn't watched it, y'all can just chill out and watch that
Yeah.
one. That's a good movie to watch. It was him and what's that other guy? He
Man, I
played.
remember him acting back in the 70s.
Yeah,
A lot of the older stuff that we, growing up as kids, we got to see him acting in his prime back then. every time he was on film, he was good.
Yeah, him. Well, anyway, the other I was talking about two actors. The Robert Duvall is the other one, and he's getting on up there too.
Yeah, he is.
Robert Duvall plays. I don't know if he plays good guys, bad guys, or whatever. I'm not even gonna go that far, but he can play a western and look so natural playing that western. And I think he's actually from like San Diego or something like that. You would think he's from Texas, just the
Yeah.
way. I mean, I don't
He
know.
looks in a cowboy hat. Yeah.
I mean, just the way he talks. He don't have to. He don't have a. He just has a cowboy accent, I
Yeah.
guess. You know, listening to him talk. So, uh, he's probably one of my all time favorites.
So as far as what other actors are in his lifespan, Robert Duvall, Hackman, you know, out of those in his lifespan, well, you got to include Clint Eastwood. He's
Clint
90, he's
Eastwood.
almost 100, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 91 or 2 or 3, something like that.
So I mean, ranking all of those, where would you put Hackman as far as you're concerned? Like in the top 5?
Oh, for sure in the
Easily?
top 5, easily. Yeah, he's
Okay.
you know, I mean, just depending on the movie, he could be the top 2. But Duvall, he's just my all time favorite. That dude's good. And then Hackman, you can throw him in there anywhere. Clint Eastwood, everybody knows his stuff.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
those 3 guys there. That's like
I think after John Wayne, and even though Clint Eastwood overlapped John Wayne in his early years, I think after John Wayne, Clint Eastwood became the big
exactly
icon of the good Hollywood.
John
Let's
Wayne's
put it that
last
way.
movie. I don't know what year it was,
The
but it was in the
Shootist?
70s. I know it was the Shootist. I got the movie.
It's like
but
75 or 76. He died in 77, didn't he?
I thought it was 80, but it
No,
might have been
yeah.
79 or so. Whatever. That
Because
was
I
his
think
last
when he was
movie.
filming, he was really actually dying
Yeah, he
from
was.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He actually knew he had cancer then. But
Great movie, though.
so the ones Clint Eastwood made up to then were a lot of Dirty Harry movies, and he made some westerns. You know, he was in Rawhide and all that kind of stuff. And then, but after right about the time John Wayne was out, that's when you started getting. Well, I don't know, Pale Rider and all them. Those come. They were in the late 60s, weren't they?
Man, if you young punks out there, like if you're in your 20s or 30s, man, you need to go all the way back, start with John Wayne, and just continue with Clint Eastwood and watch every one of those movies. That's real entertainment. Today, I just don't get that out of Hollywood anymore.
No, it's got to be a special kind of movie to enjoy. I can get on
Yeah,
and look for about 3 hours and never find a movie that looks
I know.
interesting enough to watch.
I know.
And like there's 500 of them on there, you know.
Well, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. Great. I mean, that's awesome. He had a long life. He lived to 95. So
He lived in Santa Fe.
great. Oh man.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a great thing. All right. What's up next?
You was talking about the airplanes last week. What
Yeah.
about the airplanes, man? There's
Airplanes this week.
Yeah.
It's just scary. I mean, I know the FedEx one hit birds, right?
Yeah.
That's what they said. But a jet engine's supposed to be able to take care of hitting birds. It should just dice them and slice them and spit them out the back.
That's what brought the
Titanic?
No. The one that landed on the Hudson River or whatever. Out there.
Yeah, it was. It was a flock of birds.
So
Yeah.
I guess these birds, you know,
Depends on how many. It depends on how many goes in or how big the bird is.
big old Canadian geese or something.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
That's usually what it is, I would think.
One of the airlines reported back to the tower that they thought they saw his engine fall off. Did you hear that? I was watching the live tower transmissions to the flight when they hit the birds and, and the constant contact all the way back around the land. And another airliner come in and said, "Hey, I think we saw his engine fall off," which it didn't. But they said they thought they saw it fall off.
Wow.
But he landed it.
With it on fire.
With it on fire. That's amazing. But still, and then what was it, just a few days ago, Southwest Airlines coming into land, and here comes a private jet just right across the runway, and he had to pull back up and go around. I mean, it's every week, 3 times a week that we hear some bad happening in the airline industry.
I don't know. It's
And I love to fly. I love airplanes. I could sit out there and watch them take off and land all day. But I don't think right now I don't think I could get on one right now.
I wouldn't want to.
Is it?
I'd do whatever I had to do.
And then
but
you go back to, I don't know. I don't see a private pilot being a DEI hire. I think if you're a private pilot, the owner of the jet's going to make sure you're a good
yeah, I would
pilot.
think so.
So I don't think that was it. I just think he had his head somewhere other than where it should have been. But yeah, the airline aviation right now is kind of scary, man. And there's a series I watch, which I love, and it's called Air Disasters. And I don't know if they're still making new ones, but if you go back and start watching those, the tiniest thing can bring a jetliner down. I mean, a screw. I mean, it's just scary how much just goes into a jet that can go wrong.
The little screw right over there fell out.
Yeah. I mean, a nut fell off of the back. It come off of the back on the elevator, and when it come off, it locked it in place, and it locked it like that, and that jet went straight up. And it just fell out of the sky and crashed, killed everybody on board, and it was a nut. I'm like, there's just too many things going wrong with these planes right now.
Too many parts.
So anyway,
man has to fool with.
If you're in the aviation industry, leave us a comment and let us know what you're thinking about all this.
I follow Rodeo, and O'Donoghue, he flies all over the place. And he posts pictures every now and then about, he's flying to Cheyenne or wherever he's going, and but that dude, man, he's been doing that for 30 years or no, probably 40 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was doing it back when he was rodeoing. That's why you get the rodeos and stuff.
Well, Tom Joyner, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
He was a disc jockey for, I think it was K104 all those years, but he DJ'd here and then every day would fly to Chicago and DJ out there. Remember that?
Yeah.
He was flying, I don't know how many times a week he flew, but it was
every day.
Every day. And so, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like we talked about last time in the airline industry and all that aviation stuff. Just back 6 months ago, you didn't hear about any airplane problems, but maybe once a year.
I know.
And now it's every week something's going wrong.
It's not just one thing going wrong. It's usually one or two or three.
So anyway,
speaking of rodeo,
oh yeah,
Sage Kimzey won the Milwaukee PBR today. That's I don't know if that's the first one. The guy Craig Hummer, he says maybe his second one, but I don't remember the first one. So
this is not teams then we're talking about.
It's the individual.
Individual. So when does team pick up, or is it already started?
It's the finals PBR be in May at that Kid Rock and Rodeo. That's when that'll be. Then shortly after that.
Is there a favorite team right now or not really?
No.
Who won last year?
Austin.
And who owns them or who runs them?
I don't know who owns it. Michael Gaffney coaches them, but I don't know who the owners are. I don't know. I know
who is it we were talking about the other day that owns one of those?
Richard Childress.
Yes.
He owns the Carolina.
He's into everything.
Yeah.
He's crazy. He owns.
Grandson is the GM of it. Austin Dillon.
Of the rodeo team?
Yeah. He's into it, man.
That's wild.
I'd
be into it too.
He makes deals. I mean, there's it's a real team thing, where if you got a guy I want and I got a guy you want, we make trades.
Kind of like the NFL.
It's the same thing, man.
Wow.
These guys got contracts and all that, which I never thought you'd ever see the day where rodeo people would have contracts, but they do. I mean, that's
instead of just winning based on how you're riding. Yeah.
Yeah. If you get thrown off, you're still making a certain amount of money. I don't know how I don't know how much they make. I really don't. I know an individual guy, he goes out and wins the world title, he's going to win $1 million plus what he won during the year. So it's usually $1.8 million. Yeah. $1.5 million to $1.8 million.
And that's based on his personal.
That's based on what he did.
Performance. Now, if you join a team.
If you're lucky enough to be on a team, you got a contract. So
you got a paycheck coming.
You got some kind of salary.
Whether you suck or
not. Most of them don't suck for very long.
They're out.
Well, they've got a practice squad too, so they can drop you down. And if you get bucked off 8 or 10 or whatever in a row, 15 in a row, you're not really helping the team.
Yeah,
they can move you down to the practice squad and pull another guy up. Give him an opportunity. So Anyway,
Well, it's
but how about the
speaking of
Doge stuff? That's been a
the
big deal.
corruption.
That's been a big deal here lately.
That's
The
unbelievable. That's it's not. No, I take that back. It's not unbelievable. It's truly believable to me. We knew
what
the government was corrupt anyway, so I mean, but this is a little overboard here.
I think for years they've been talking about, like spending money on saving the whales or whatever, whatever. How do rats act on cocaine or whatever, how do they what's their breeding habits when they're on cocaine or
Yeah,
some stupid crap like that. I mean, we fund all that. We pay for all that. And
it's just
anyway, they're talking about auditing Fort Knox.
yeah. Hey,
So
before we get to Fort Knox, let me ask you: when do you think? Give me a year, a time. Let's say a 10-year period. When do you think that started? Where they just started taking our money and just using it for whatever they wanted. What years? Was that in the 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s?
I don't
What?
know how far back it goes,
But I mean, it's
but this
God, it's just
USAID or whatever that
yes.
thing that come along and when did that come around? Wasn't it the 60s
I don't know.
or was it the 70s? But that's just been a big
It's a melting pot. It's just
that's just been a big savings account or whatever for people that it's just like all these people that you get elected dog catcher in your local town and you go spend a term up in Washington D.C. You come home a millionaire
yeah,
and you're making 150,000, 170,000 a year,
and spending all of it normally.
and you got guys like Joe Biden never had a job really in his life other than government, so he's never made over what a president earns, which is what eight hundred
Yeah, and that
thousand a
was just
year.
the last 4 years of his life. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
So,
before that he wasn't making that,
and here
and
he
now
is.
he's
He's
worth 100 something million
I don't know
probably.
what he's worth, but then I just seen a deal the other day. Oh, Liz Warren up there in Massachusetts. Her and I don't know why her salary is like 270
Mm-hmm.
for what I don't know. I don't know why she makes that much, and maybe they just pay raises and whatever that they vote themselves in.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
another problem.
yeah,
They get
but she's
together
worth
and vote themselves a raise.
she's
That's
worth
just
about 67 million.
that's
But I
just
think they need to start checking these people. They need to start digging in. I don't care who they are.
I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or independent. If you're screwing with the taxpayers' money and you're benefiting off of that, you need to get out. You need to
Big
go.
time. You need to go to jail,
Yeah,
cut and dry.
absolutely.
And that's something I've said for I know 10 years. When I see somebody in an orange jumpsuit, then I'll believe that there's something actually being done about it.
Yeah, I'm still
You
waiting.
can't shame these people into
No,
into
no,
stopping what they're doing.
no, no. You can't. It's
They're
just like the what's his name? The is it Epstein?
yeah.
It's just like if there's big Republicans or conservatives that we like that show up on that crap and they got caught doing all that, you're out. But I'm not going to go there. So let's just. I was going to say if it's the other side, they'll just give them a promotion.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So
anyway, Fort
anyway,
Knox, they're talking about doing Fort Knox, auditing that. I just wonder, you've been watching the Crown thing or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and talking about the gold that they just open up and like, it's here.
Yeah,
This is what we got.
yeah. It looked like they had a bus full of kids walking through there with the Queen, with cameras and rows of gold bars. They can sit there and just look at it and everything. And we saw one locker back in '73, and that was it.
Yeah, and there ain't been but about probably a half a dozen people that's been allowed to go in there. Like, I mean, I'm talking about like senators, congressmen, or whatever.
Right.
It's actually been allowed to go in there.
And they haven't been in the past 40 years been allowed to go in there.
Well, this was I want to say in 2017 or 2018, something like that, maybe. It was just there was
What did
and
what
I can't
did
remember
they
what
see though?
I don't know what the purpose was. And no, I don't know.
Yeah. That's what they're talking about. That in '73 their little get together to show that the gold's still in there Well, my understanding of Fort Knox, there's 4 huge lockers full of gold. They just opened one up, let people look, and shut it, and that was all they got to see. So you don't know if something's in here and here and here. Then Denver's supposed to have a place that's got a lot of gold. No one's been in there. I did see one where they opened it up and it was all eggs.
Really? So that's why eggs are going up.
That's why, yeah, they're hoarding eggs up there. But yeah,
now
so what do we do?
$10 a dozen.
You know, and if they do go up there and they do need to audit this and they do need to have everything opened all at once, and if there's nothing in there, we're about to lose everything. Our dollar will go to zero.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and right now there's financial. I just heard this morning that there's banks kicking people out of their banks right now.
What do you mean?
They're shutting their accounts down because they're not reliable, and they're just going there and shutting their checking and savings accounts down.
What do you mean not reliable? What do you mean?
They're not paying their bills. They're not. They just don't qualify. And that guy said they're coming in and they're just shutting down their checking and bank and savings account, and you have no control over that. And that started today. And I've been watching this where they're saying,
are they like getting their money or what?
I don't know. He didn't say anything about that. He just said they're shutting down people's checking, but they've been warning about this for over a year. Some of these guys I listen to have been talking about, 2025 in the first quarter. Get ready. Some major financial things are going to happen, and it's happening. It's happening right now. I heard it this morning talking about that. Yeah, so we'll do some more investigating on that. But anyway, yeah, Fort Knox. I don't know. I wish it would hurry and happen. They keep talking about it, but they haven't gone up there yet. So that'll be very interesting.
Maybe they don't want it to happen because
maybe exactly.
What a crash that would be.
That'd be a nightmare. Maybe our dinar will revalue at that point.
You've been waiting on that. Yeah, I'm worth about $3.5 million.
Yep.
In dinar.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Stimulus checks. What do you think about that? We gonna get them?
I doubt it. I mean, here's the deal. There's billions and billions and billions. And a lot of people don't. I never did. You might have either. I don't know. But I mean, a lot of people they think billions. I've even heard some college kids like on Charlie Kirk. He does them college videos.
Yeah.
He goes, and I've heard some of them kids. Well, it's just 10 billion. Like that ain't nothing.
Yeah, it's a billion is 1,000 million, and a million is a bunch.
Yeah.
And for them, and because these kids have grown up hearing billions,
and they act like it's no big deal.
They act like it's nothing. Jeez.
But there's so much. I don't know. It's over 150 billion that they found that's just being donkeyed off for nothing. I mean, for stupid stuff.
Yes, for other countries.
Yeah.
And how much did we give Zelensky so far? And nobody can really tell us where it went once it went over there. Half a trillion. 500 billion.
I don't know how much all of it was, but I know at one point they were talking about like 150 billion. But out of that, like 50 billion went to Ukraine, and the rest of it went to somewhere in Iowa, and they built factories and stuff like that built parts that they shipped to Ukraine.
And then we found out this last week how many millions have been going to the people who hate us the most over in Iraq and stuff, and Iran. We've been sending.
Well, yeah, Sesame Street for Iran.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about actually sending money straight to the Taliban and all those people who are after us. We've been sending cash to them and supporting them to kill us.
What?
I just heard that this week.
5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever they flew a plane load of just pallets of cash.
Yeah, well, and no, I mean, up until right now, until Doge's been looking into all this, there's been money just going over there to all these terrorist organizations.
Well, here's the deal. You got 35 trillion in debt. And that's, I don't even know, I don't know how many billions it takes to make a trillion.
Yeah, but I don't either.
When they can go in there and find $200 billion or whatever of just wasteful, stupid spending. You know, to me, and they're trying to balance the budget where they whatever they take in,
Mhm.
which is two whatever point whatever billion or trillion, is it trillion a year in tax revenue?
Oh
and all that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
oh yeah. It's like
But yet they're
3.5
spending-
trillion a year we take in on taxes.
But they're spending 4 or 5 trillion.
Yeah, and the interest is even more than that.
Yeah, the interest on our debt is
Yes.
more than what the military
Yes.
is spending.
Well,
at
yes,
this point.
exactly. Which
So-
is if we keep going this way, and those countries we borrowed money from,
Yeah, I mean, what? Who's to
they'll
say?
own us.
Yeah.
They'll freaking own us.
Well,
But
I mean,
I
like-
thank God that they did start this Doge and they started finding all this corrupt stuff. And by the way, you government employees that are crying about having to write down what you've done for the last week to prove you doing something, where do you get off thinking you don't have to do nothing to earn money? I mean, what planet are you on? I just don't understand your thought process. This one young lady was like, it took me 5 minutes to write down what I did all week and send it right back in. What's the problem? Anybody complaining that you got to write down what you did all week to prove you're doing something to earn a check, you're the problem and you need to go. And guess what? Just like Johnny Brown, you say, hey, I found a job when I was looking for this.
Yeah.
I can find another one, and you can too. Do like Biden said, hey, can't you, what's it called, doing that short? What did he tell the pipeline workers when he fired all them? Well, can't y'all do, what did he say that? Y'all go
I
learn.
remember. But
What was that? Go learn something, boy. Y'all just need to just take Biden's advice. Hey,
Go learn a new trade.
Yeah, go learn a new trade. It ain't no big deal. Jeez.
Yeah, they
Golly.
complaining about what you gotta. And I think they were looking for because that's another thing. He said he did that because he thinks they were paying people that were dead. They're sending checks to dead people.
Yeah. And somebody
And-
living's getting them.
Yeah. That's
And it's probably somebody in government.
You probably. Yeah. So
Oh, it's just so irritating. It's to sit there and write down what you've done. And the fact you have to write it down, you should be able to just pull it up and send it what you did all
I
week.
go to work and in the first hour I can tell you 5 things I've done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So.
And you're looking at 5 things for a week. Just what have you done? I mean, like, well, I think what he said was we didn't get no response. We just assuming you're a bot and you're probably not even. We're just sending you a check.
Sending you a check
for nothing.
And some computer genius is getting that check.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Speaking of Zelensky, you mentioned him a while ago. What about that little deal?
Ooh.
What do you think about that? I mean,
well, let's see. If I come over here to borrow, let's say I'm coming over to borrow $10 million from you, Kevin, and then I don't thank you for it, and I start pissing you off and talking trash to you, and I'm here begging for money from you. What would you do? Would you go, oh, okay, here's the money?
No.
That was the tail coming in trying to wag the new big dog, and you ain't gonna wag this dog. You know, you used to could, but now you can't. And I think it went great.
I think, I understand the guy is standing up for his country and he's fighting Russia and he's
but he's
Russia.
milking the U.S. for money for other things too. Half of that money they're sending him. Biden sent him, I believe, $500 billion over 4 years. And you can't tell me $500 billion went to their military because they ain't doing nothing.
Well, they're holding off Russia, so I don't know what they're
Well,
spending money on. But
I don't know if I believe
You
this is
can't-
a full blown war anyway. Russia.
Well, here's my deal. He comes over here. He's wanting security. I can understand that. You want security to back off, and you want, we want peace. He wants security to end the war, and basically he's trying to drag us into. He's wanting us to guarantee him security that Russia won't come over there and
right.
pick another fight. Well, I mean,
so I hire a security
basically
company.
you're just hiring.
Yeah.
Just the fact that we're there, mining whatever minerals or whatever we're over there going to be doing.
At that point, Russia ain't gonna touch them.
I wouldn't.
They
think
know
so.
what would happen to them with
They're
this
not.
administration.
Yeah.
And it's like him coming over going, hey, I need your security, but I'm going to tell you how we're going to do that. No. You want me to secure it? I'll be in charge of that.
Exactly.
You ain't going to tell that, you hire a security company to come in and put security stuff in your house. You're not going to sit there and dictate to them how to do it. They know how to do it. They're the experts.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just very arrogant and sloppy dresser. I mean, come on. That's just pathetic. You come over and you come in the White House and you're dressed like that. I just think that's disrespectful walking in dressed like that, to be honest with you.
Well,
I mean, I'm doing this podcast look better than he did.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jeez, that's just
Johnny Cash.
just sad. It's a good thing we're in a underground bomb shelter because Zelensky could be listening to this.
Well, I don't know. I just think I can understand the guy wanting security, but don't come over here and dictate to how we're going to supply you with security.
Yeah, hit the road, Jack.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah,
he'll be back. He'll be nice, and he'll be thankful.
Well, I think I heard the next day. Was it the next day or that afternoon?
Yeah,
whatever they got, their parliament or whatever it is they call it over there.
They were disgusted with him.
Yeah, they were like they were getting together and
they were watching it on a big screen. Did you see this?
Hmm.
They were watching I think they were watching on a big screen, and one of the guys was like, just like this, like I can't believe this is happening,
man.
But you got all these Europe countries acting like we were the bullies or whatever.
Yeah, like it was an ambush or something.
We'll blow y'all up too, so just be aware.
Well, how much money is? And I don't know. They may be sending more money than we are. I don't know amongst all those countries over there. I don't have a clue. I don't know what they're sending. I just know what we've sent, or I got an idea of what we've sent.
Yeah.
And if all them European countries are sending more money than we are, then so be it.
Well, they're not.
But they're not going to those. He's not going to those European countries looking for security.
Yeah.
He's coming to us.
That's right.
Because we're the ones that would supply that if it gets supplied at all. Because it'd be the same with Europe. We'd have to babysit them too. And that's fine. I mean, we're the lone superpower in this world. Maybe not for very long. I don't know, but they're gonna come. The big kid comes picking on you. You're gonna come
to the bigger kid.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of this 4 years, our military will be just poof. It'll be immaculate. But
hopefully not to be tore down again.
I've been invited to be on the crown committee for President Trump when we crown him king in 3 years, and then we'll have a royal family. God, look at our queen.
Well, I know,
man. So anyway, I've been excited about getting to help design the crown and the robe. So really excited about that.
Everybody that's anti him, that's what they think. They think he's a king. So might as well make him one.
Yeah, we got a crown committee going, so it's all about making the crown look good. So anyway, one thing we didn't talk about was we got the Cadillac behind us today.
Sure enough. That's a land yacht.
That's a beast. Man.
That has got lines. That's got curves. That's got class.
Major class. And most of the women around here wouldn't even want to be seen in it. That's what I can't even figure that out.
I brought an 85 Barrett's.
Which I've seen before.
Yeah.
If you're watching our videos.
And my kids looked out the door and like, what part of town did you steal that in? I thought it was just a class act, man. Everything looks like everything nowadays looks the same. They don't have lines. They don't have definition. They don't have nothing stands out.
Nothing sexy. Artwork.
Yeah.
I mean, that's freaking artwork. I mean, you don't see a painting like that of a new car.
No. Yeah.
So anyway.
Souped up Honda or something. Anyway.
I might be flying to Italy to meet the artist. So we'll see about that. Anyway, what we're going to wrap up with, Kevin? I forgot what we were wrapping up. Oh, we're going to talk about the Car Pro. So you guys,
if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you've probably heard of Jerry Reynolds. If you haven't, I don't know if he has dealerships in your area. You can go to the website, carpro.com, CARPRO.com, and go in there, and whatever vehicle you're looking at, even if it's multiple vehicles, he will send you to a person at a dealership that has been contracted with him to treat you like VIP, and you automatically get the best deal. You don't have to go in there and do the back and forth and think you got a good deal. You're not sure if you got a good deal. You got the best deal possible. So carpro.com, he has a newsletter you can subscribe to and get it every week. It's free. There's no outside advertising on it or anything like that. So be informed when you go to a car dealership.
A lot of people think, and I mean, I would probably been in that class.
Me too.
You know, how good a deal are you really going to get? Unless you go in there and sit there and argue with them, you don't really, sometimes you don't think you're getting a good deal. But I've been sitting at a dealership all day long before to buy a car. I mean, get there at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and then it's 5 or 6 o'clock that evening before you get out of there. And you had every intention to go there and buy one. That's what you went there for.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it took all day long to get it, you know, and go through Jerry Reynolds and the Car Pro. You just in and out. You go. I mean, these people know what you're coming for.
They know who sent you,
and it's all
you can
done.
report back to Jerry if something went wrong, and he'll deal with it. But I mean, it's just, I've bought 9 vehicles through that program so far, and out of the 9, I had one that was kind of. I even emailed Jerry and said, "Hey, I think you need to refresh their memory on how they're supposed to act." And he said, "Oh, I'll make sure I do that." So, but 1 out of 9, all the other ones I get there, it's all done. I do it. I call them up, tell them what I want. I know it depends on what car you're looking for. If there's something that's like a brand new model, there's hardly any discounts on brand new models. I still got $4,000 off of a brand new model that they weren't giving discounts on, just because I went through Jerry. Because I know somebody else who went up there and bought it, they didn't get all that off. So it'll save you time, save you money, headache. Like he said, you want to be there all day, that's fine. Go up there and do that all day. But I like to get in and out in about an hour.
And you may get the same deal by sitting up there all day long, but my time's worth a little more than that. I figured that out after sitting there all day.
But Jerry's honest. He has a radio show Saturday mornings 9 to 11, WBAP 820 AM, which you can get that anywhere in the U.S. with your iPhones now and your Androids. And then he has a national show from 11 to 3. So if you go to carpro.com at 11 a.m. Central Time on Saturday, hit listen live and you can listen to him. And people call in, ask him questions. And it's just, man, if you're an auto enthusiast, it's a real good program to listen to. Anyway, I listen to it every Saturday, and I'm a car nut. So
the guy's what, 65, 70 years old, and he's been in the car business forever. So yeah. I mean, he knows his stuff about cars.
Yeah, he owned big Ford dealerships here in the Metroplex, in the DFW area. And when he sold them all, he started building a network of dealerships that treated people with respect, and it's just a good deal. So carpro.com, tell them Express Mail sent you when you get there. So anyway,
they might give you another $100.
Yeah, no doubt. They might charge you another $100. Man, oh man. So anyway, I think, have we wrapped it up? I think
like, share, and subscribe, and comment. Please comment. Give us some comments. You don't have to like us. You don't have to like what we're doing, like what you're hearing. But if you don't, tell us about it.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Don't be a baby. Comment. We'll talk back to you.
Yeah.
Man, I hope
say it to my face.
Yeah, I hope we I hope we covered it all. I think we did. So anyway, I guess that'll wrap this one up.
Yeah, I think
good?
So. We're good.
All right. Well, you know the routine. I'm Casey.
I'm Kevin.
Peace.
Adios.
See you later.